Good morning, class. Welcome to today's grammar lesson. This is Wednesday's sentence number 2. And I hope you've had the chance to try it out for yourself and get everything labeled and adjusted. Remembering to use your week 12 grammar card and the information on the left-hand side to help you out. So with that in mind, we are now going to take up and see how we did. So starting with all the usual stuff, we're going to capitalize the beginning of the sentence and give it a happy period at the end. And then we're going to capitalize merry men because we remember that that is a title, okay? So the next thing that we need to do is look for our subjects and verbs. And we're only going to really pay attention to the verbs that we think are related to subjects. Okay, so the first one is considered. And the second one is rose, right? Like getting up. Okay? And we know that washing is a verb too, but for now we'll just leave that off. And we're going to look for subjects. So he is talking about Robin Hood from the last sentence. So that is actually the subject. And then around this verb, the merry men are the second subject because that's what it's talking about here. So that gives us a clue of where our clauses are. So we can see that the first clause is a dependent clause that fits right there, and it starts with a clause starter, which tells us that this is our number 5 sentence opener, right? The clausal sentence opener, okay? Which means that this relates to our main clause, and it's going to start here and end just right here because it can just exist all by itself. So that gets our little NC. I'll remember to put DC over here. And now it's time to look for our adjectives. So we see the first one here. Next is an adjective that describes the move. Okay, the second one is each, which is an adjective that describes the fellows, the merry men. Okay, and then we have 2 here. So cold and gurgling, which are talking about the brook, which is a little stream of water. Okay, and so now that we see we have 2 adjectives together, we have to remember whether or not to put a comma in. So we're going to ask ourselves, can we switch around the order? So right now it says in the cold gurgling brook. But how about in the gurgling cold brook? That seems fair enough. Or we can test if it could have an and. So in the cold and gurgling brook. That sounds right to me. So this is coordinate adjectives that need a comma. All right. So, speaking of coordinates, we actually have a coordinating conjunction today, which we will label right over here with CC. Okay, and that just leaves our prepositions. So, I think, we only have one preposition today, and it's just right here. It's in. And that is it. That is your sentence. And because it's talking about Robin Hood still, it's the same idea as yesterday, which means we don't need to indent it. Okay, so we'll leave that just as it is. When you're copying it out, it can just continue on as a new sentence. And here's your definition. So again, you're welcome to look it up online, or if you have a dictionary, that's great. But I have it here for you. Gurgling means flowing in an irregular, noisy current. Okay, so there's your definition for today as well. So take a minute and check if your sentence looks like this and copy it out for your rewrite.